Welcome back to the bright side. Once again, we're talking about the stress response, emotional and mental stress response, and its relationship to a lack of ease, i.e. dis-ease. The secret to reversing disease is hidden in the word. Dis-ease is a lack of ease. That is, a body that's in emergency mode. And this emergency mode manifests itself in all kinds of ways. When the body's in an emergency mode, the digestive system will shut down. So indigestion, problems absorbing foods, intestinal issues, constipation, loose stools, these can all be manifestations of the stress response. Cognitive dysfunction. When we're under stress, when our body is working in emergency mode, blood will be shunted away from the front of the brain into the reptilian brain. Yes, it's actually called the reptilian brain. It's in the back of the brain. This is the part of the brain that's associated with fear and anxiety, insomnia, jitteriness. All of these are associated with the stress response. The circulatory system problems with the circulatory system are associated with the stress response. My friend Rebecca is listening. Hopefully, Rebecca, you're listening. And Rebecca's mom is dealing with, is on warfarin, is on a blood thinner. Rebecca called me yesterday or texted me yesterday. She wanted to know if I could help her mom. Well, guess what, guys? And mom and Rebecca, if your blood is sticky, if your blood is coagulated, if your blood is clotting, that's a manifestation of a stress response in the blood. That's why they give you warfarin or heparin, blood thinning drugs, when you're in surgery. Surgery is a mega stress for the body, and one of the ways the body responds to the stress of surgery is by one of the ways the blood responds to the stress of surgery is by clotting. It's part of the emergency response. We have an epidemic of blood coagulation, of sticky blood, largely because we're all running hypercortisol, we're all running hyperstress, we're all in emergency mode. Toxins in the blood now can also cause problems with clotting and coagulation. Low levels of oxygen, again, can cause problems with clotting and coagulation. All of these are as a result of the stress response. Mom, if you're on a blood thinner and you want to get off of it, relax the body. Eliminate toxins from getting into the blood, mostly digestive toxins. Make sure you're deep breathing. These are all non-toxic strategies for thinning the blood. I know they're not as sexy as your doctor's recommendation, and they're not as cool as a new drug. They don't have advertising. There's no advertising for deep breathing. There's no advertising for stabilizing digestive health and preventing toxins from getting into the blood. There's nothing cool and sexy about these strategies, but they work, and they're non-toxic. And the reason our blood is clotting, not because we have a warfarin deficiency, and we need our warfarin levels replaced, or we need to have our warfarin levels raised pharmacologically. That's silly. There's no such thing as a degenerative disease that results from a drug deficiency, obviously. The stress response shows up in multiple ways, from constipation to problems with cognition to blood clotting to thyroid dysfunction to heart disease to dysglycemia or messed up blood sugar. Pretty much every single manifestation of chronic degenerative disease, whatever it is, from arthritis to acne, is associated, or at least has a component of a jacked up stress response. In this way, everything we're talking about here, you guys, is science. The idea that the mind controls the body is science. The idea that the stress response is behind our degenerative diseases is science. And contrary to popular belief, medicine is not about science. Medicine is about magic. It's about magic pills. It's about magic cures. It's about the great magician called the doctor who will surgically produce health, or who will pharmacologically intervene to produce health. It doesn't even make sense when you think about it. How the heck can a drug, which by its very nature shuts down chemistry and requires detoxification, do our body any good? Now, I'm not saying there's not times that we need drugs. Obviously, there are. If you're in pain, if you have an emergency, a hypertensive crisis or some kind of emergency, if you just come out of surgery and your blood is clotting, yeah, there's times you need drugs. If you're in pain, the problem with drugs is our reliance on them, our dependence on them. The problem with drugs is we're not told about alternatives to drugs. We're not told about alternatives to drugs by our healthcare gurus, our doctors. That's because medicine is not about science. Medicine is about magic. Francis Bacon, who is the father of science, said 500 years ago, medicine as a science is more professed than labored, meaning medicine as a science is more gibberish talked about than it is really true. We knew this 500 years ago. When it comes to healing and health, there's two main approaches. One is the doctor approach. It's magical. It uses magical substances and magical words, naming things. The other is scientific. It's using logic and troubleshooting. Your doctor practices magic. He names things. The bright side is about science. It's about what works. It's about working backwards. It's about engineering. Yesterday we talked about the warning light on the car. It's about listening to the warning light. Step 1, if you're dealing with a crisis, degenerative disease crisis, digestion. Step 2, stabilize blood sugar. Step 3, calm the body down. It really is as simple as that, you guys. We spent a lot of time talking about this whole mind-body thing. I love talking about the mind-body aspect of health. It's very, very important. It's critical. As a healthcare professional, it's critical to understand the placebo effect, the nocebo effect, the mind-body aspects of psychosomatic medicine. But at the same time, there's wonderful nutritional elements, nutritional supplements that we can use. I want to talk about a few of them. Actually, I want to talk about 10 of them. We'll talk about these for the next few days. These are substances that we can use, nutritional, and not all nutritional substances. Some of them are hormonal substances that we can use to calm the body down, to deactivate the stress response. One of my favorite all-time supplements, it's not nutritional, but it's a supplement that you can use, a dietary supplement that you can use to calm the body down, to access the relaxation response, to improve cognition, to improve immunity, to improve every single marker of health, is called pregnenolone. Now, if you listen to this program, you know we've talked about this periodically. You're not going to hear it from your doctor. Pregnenolone is a hormone, and it is a pro-hormone. Pro-hormone meaning it gets turned into other hormones. So pregnenolone itself is a hormone. Pregnenolone has hormonal effects, and it gets turned into other substances that have hormonal effects. So it can communicate messages to cells on its own. Remember, hormone means I arouse to activity. So pregnenolone has an arousal aspect on cells, and it gets converted into other hormones too, other very important hormones. Hang tight, I'll tell you what I mean when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben, you're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to produce an endless supply of nano-sized silver solutions right from the convenience of your home. Silver Lungs. With the addition of our unique lung delivery system, respiratory infections are targeted directly, where traditional oral administration simply cannot reach. This pioneering method also preserves the original particle sizes and delivers your silver solution directly into the bloodstream. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
Healthy, organic, fresh fish, robust, mouth-watering vegetables, all from your home. It's called aquaponics. This brilliant, self-sustaining protein and veggie system is perfect for year-round growing. Know exactly where your food is coming from. Aquaponicssource.com is the one-stop shop for all your needs. Fish, fish food, plumbing, full systems, classes, and more. Learn to build your own system. Go to aquaponicssource.com for a free guide to aquaponics. That's aquaponicssource.com.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without a Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Nussbaum with the Anthem Foundation. Premature birth is the leading cause of death of babies and disabilities for children. That's why we support the March of Dimes to help mothers have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment and outreach to help moms during their pregnancy and give every baby a healthy start in life. Learn how you can help at marchofdimes.org.
Most of us already know that taking a fish oil supplement to boost omega-3s is a good idea. But did you know that about 60% of Americans are actually deficient in omega-3s? Did you know that most fish oil products contain only about 25% omega-3s and the remaining 75% is undesirable fish fat? Heck, did you know that more than 90% of fish oil supplements sold in the USA are not even made here? If you want to boost your omega-3s using the finest American-made fish oil, check out Nutrigold Fish Oil Supplements on www.fishoil.best. Nutrigold fish oils are independently 5-star certified and guaranteed to be exceptionally pure. That means no more fish burps. Best of all, just one Nutrigold fish oil capsule contains more omega-3s than 4 standard fish oil capsules. Go to www.fishoil.best or call 888-920-1497 and use promo code BESTFISHOIL to get a free 1-month supply. That's www.fishoil.best or call 888-920-1497.
Turn on the news and you'll hear stories of natural disasters, political unrest, and financial crisis. In times of uncertainty, how will you take care of your family's most basic needs? Food Insurance, America's most trusted provider of freeze-dried emergency food, has solutions that fit your family's needs and budget. Our meals are delicious, nutritious, and come with a guaranteed 25-year shelf life. For a limited time, we are sending a free freeze-dried meal to all listeners of this program. Go to foodinsurance.com and request your free meal today. That's foodinsurance.com.
Hi, my name is Scott Fuchs, teacher and rowing coach for over 14 years. I was sluggish, overweight, on prescription drugs, and only 30-something. Fortunately, I was referred to Dr. Z, and happy to say Dr. Z's all-natural protocols over a consistent course resolved my health issues. I'm in the best shape of my life, and most importantly, on 0 medications.
I'm Dr. Zdanowski, author of Evology, trained as a primary care physician, surgical manipulation under anesthesia, expert in nutrition, diet, weight loss, immune system, and I specialize in chiropractic. My 15 years of professional experience has taught me the 4 keys to vibrant health: a balanced musculoskeletal system, an integrated nervous system, a flowing lymphatic system, and a body filled with over 90 essential nutrients. This has been a secret too long. Actualize your potential, reverse disease. Call me, Dr. Z, 201-945-1177, 201-945-1177, evolyourself.com.
All right, so please do not underestimate the importance of the relaxation response, whether you're using mental strategies, which are very important, emotional strategies, very important for accessing the relaxation response to reduce the symptomology of chronic degenerative disease, pain, trauma, post-traumatic stress syndrome, depression, mental health issues. Yesterday I talked about a really cool book called I couldn't remember the name. It's called Open Focus Brain by a guy named Les Fehmi, Fehmi. And he's got some really neat strategies for activating the relaxation response using your eyes, using something called open focus, where you focus through the periphery of your eyes. Usually when we're looking at something, we focus through the center of our eyes. When you focus on something through the center of your eyes, or when you look at the foreground versus the background, everything has a foreground and a background. Our visual scenery has a foreground and a background. And for the most part, we're always looking through the center of our eyes at the foreground. This activates the stress response because we're looking for something. We're seeking something. Beta brainwaves are activated when we look through the center of our eyes. Beta brainwaves are fast brainwaves that are linked to anxiety issues, also problem solving and rationality, but also anxiety. But according to Les Fehmi in the book Open Focus Brain, when you look at the background versus the foreground, at the context versus the content, if you look through the periphery of your vision, you'll activate alpha brainwaves and theta brainwaves, which are associated with calming, associated with the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation response. Use your eyes. Yesterday I talked about how we grasp with our eyes. It's kind of how we live our lives. We're grasping for things. Instead of letting things come to us, we're always going to get things. But when we let things come to us, we activate the relaxation response. We could do it with our eyes. As you're looking around in your room, you can notice that you have a tendency to reach out towards things that we're looking at. But if we let the light come to us, which is really what's happening when we see things, the light is coming to us. If we relax and let the world come to us, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system. We're not taught this. We're taught to go out and get things. We're taught to go out and do things. Not that that's a bad thing, but when we do it too much, or we don't balance it with allowing things to come to us, this can cause an activation of the immune-suppressing, disease-inducing, pain-causing stress response. Another cool book by a guy named John Kabat-Zinn, who's actually a medical doctor. He writes about mindfulness. He has a book called Coming to Our Senses. Coming to Our Senses, again, talks about the link between allowing things to come to us, being aware of our environment, sitting back and watching, activating the relaxation response, and healing. One of my all-time favorite books on the relaxation response and activating the relaxation response is called Come to Your Senses by another medical doctor. I think he's a medical doctor. He's a medical doctor. Stanley Block is his name. Come to Your Senses. He's got a really cool technique for activating the relaxation response. He says just listening to sounds, just ambient sounds. You know, as we sit in our rooms, there's all kinds of ambient sounds that we don't even notice. The sounds of the air conditioner or the fan, sounds of traffic, There's sounds everywhere. It's almost like a symphony of sounds that we completely ignore. But according to Dr. Stanley Block in the book Come to Your Senses, simply by paying attention to those sounds, you can activate the relaxation response. This is so cool, you guys. These are health strategies that we can do from the comfort of our own living room. And they ultimately empower us, and they disempower the predatory, exploitative medical model that's represented by your kindly MD. Not that your MD is necessarily a bad person. He doesn't know. He's being used himself. These are all strategies that we can employ from the comfort of our own living room. When it comes to nutritional supplements and supplements in general, there's lots of them. Magnesium, coenzyme Q10, alpha-lipoic acid, zinc. We're going to talk about all these in the coming days. And then there's the hormonal substances that we can use as supplements, chief among which, or one of the chief hormonal substances. There's a couple other very important ones. One of the most important is pregnenolone. Pregnenolone turns on the chemistry of relaxation in the body, and you can get it at your health food store for pennies a day. Pregnenolone is one of those super helpful but relatively unknown health supplements, unless you've been listening to this program. There's so many cool things and benefits to this wonderful nutritional supplement, pregnenolone. It's hard to know where to begin. It has a calming effect on the body. Our levels drop as we get older, and as we get older, our stress hormones go up. There's kind of like an interesting phenomena that occurs as we get older. Stress hormones go up. This is one of the reasons why older people will find that they can't fall asleep, or they wake up in the middle of the night and they can't go back to sleep. As we get older, our cortisol levels go up, and you can imagine why they go up. It's the accumulation of stress and trauma, emotional, mental, and physical trauma that occurs as we age. When we're younger, we got more pregnenolone. We got more calming hormones. As we get older, that balance is shifted. Low levels of pregnenolone are associated with anxiety. They're associated with insomnia. They're associated with depression. They're associated with cognitive dysfunction. Pretty much all of the things we hate about getting older, from an emotional and mental standpoint anyway, are associated with low levels or linked to low levels of pregnenolone. Pregnenolone acts directly on cells like a hormone, especially nerve cells and brain cells. Nerve cells and brain cells produce their own pregnenolone from cholesterol. Yes, that demonized molecule. More on that later. By the way, I'm doing a video today, a YouTube video on cholesterol. It'll be posted on Critical Health News. If you're interested in getting our videos, send an email to criticalhealthnews.com. Just put a note in there in the subject heading that you want to be put on the video list. We'll talk about cholesterol. I'm going to talk about cholesterol in this video. It'll be out next week. Pregnenolone is derived from cholesterol right in the cells. If you take a statin drug, that's not going to happen. This is one of the reasons, among others, why statin drugs affect the brain. They suppress cholesterol production in the brain. Literally, the brain is making cholesterol. 25% of our cholesterol is in our brain. If you take a statin drug, that means less cholesterol for the brain. Tell that to the next medical physician, medical doctor who wants you on a statin drug. Pregnenolone comes from cholesterol. It's converted from cholesterol. And pregnenolone itself is turned into other anti-stress hormones, stress management hormones. For years, scientists used to think pregnenolone was just a raw material, but recently they found out that pregnenolone has its own health benefits. It's not just a raw material. That means you can do your own hormone replacement therapy at the health food store. You can do your own hormone replacement therapy in a non-toxic fashion. You could do your own hormone replacement therapy without your doctor, without the medical model, for pennies a day. Pregnenolone, 50 milligrams a day to 100 milligrams a day. All right, got so much more to say about pregnenolone and other hormones and other nutritional strategies for anti-stress, for stress management. We'll talk about that when we come back, and we'll talk about that over the coming days as well. And we'll get your phone calls when we come back from our break. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side from the journal Mindfulness. Check this out. Studies suggest that washing dishes decreases stress. How do you like that? You can decrease the stress response, thin your blood, improve your digestive system, improve your mental health by washing the dishes and have a clean kitchen at the same time. These are all the little things that we can do to activate our body's relaxation response. And I know there's some of you guys out there listening saying this can't be true. My doctor didn't tell me about it. It's too easy. That's how easy health is. That's why I do this program. That's why this show is called The Bright Side. Health is easy. It is simple. It's our birthright. We're built to heal. We're built to be healthy. The human body is a regenerating system. Nobody has to suffer with a chronic degenerative disease. Nobody has to be on a prescription drug chronically for the long term. And if you are on a prescription drug for life, you're being abused. You're being used. You're being taken advantage of. There isn't a single prescription drug on planet Earth that can do what pregnenolone can do in a non-toxic fashion, or what nutritional supplements can do. There's not a single prescription drug on the planet that can do what vitamin C can do for pennies a day. When a drug goes to bed at night and has a dream and has a fantasy, it dreams it was vitamin C. Nutrients are what drugs dream they could be. And they're ours. As simple as getting on the Healthy Start Pack. As simple as, this is what longevity is all about. Good health is as simple as getting on the Healthy Start Pack and participating in the longevity culture. Not that you have to do the longevity culture. We just make it easy for you. And you can make money at the same time. If you're interested, by the way, call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470, or head over to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. There's a really, really interesting relationship between marijuana, between pot smoking, and pregnenolone. And there's also a very interesting relationship between Valium and Xanax and pregnenolone. We'll talk about that on our next Brightside episode as we continue talking stress hormones and nutrition and hormonal strategies. Not necessarily nutritional strategies, but hormonal or supplemental strategies that we can use to access our relaxation response, to access our God-given, built-in ability to regenerate and heal. All right, got lines open for you at 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. Let's go to Virginia and welcome Rose to the Bright Side. Good morning, Rose. What's up?
Hi, Ben. I'm doing well. God bless you.
God bless you as well. What's cooking?
I haven't forgotten you. I'm going to have to email you because Alan needs to speak with you, okay? But this is related to something else. And as always, I tell you, and I mean it, my prayers are for you.
Thank you, Rose.
How much we love you. I was going to ask you, we know this young man, I think he's in his 30s, and he was mentioning to us the other day that he has this condition. I'll spell it. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Okay.
Ketaconous.
Ketaconous?
Yes.
You sure there's not an R in there? It's an eye. Is it an eye problem you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, keratoconus. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Keratoconus, it's called.
How?
Keratoconus. It has to do with the shape of the eye.
Yeah.
Okay,
and he said that he had a surgery on one eye, and he has lost hope in this moment.
Okay, no, we're going to help him.
I'm going to get blind.
No, we're going to help him. Let me tell you about keratoconus, okay? Remember, we always say on the bright side how all diseases basically have the same kind of mechanisms behind them. Keratoconus is it's a collagen defect. It's the fibers in the eye start to break down and the eye can't hold its shape. Everything is held in shape by connective tissue in the body. That's the name connective tissue. Connective tissue connects everything together. Prolapses, hernias, keratoconus, these are defects in the body that are caused by a breakdown in connective tissue. It's very common. Breakdowns in connective tissue and connective tissue diseases are they're a major cause of aging and a major cause of degeneration of the body. So basically it's arthritis of the eyes, arthritis of the cornea specifically. Does this make sense so far? He has an arthritis of the cornea. He probably has arthritis too. You know, this is a guy whose body is falling apart. Now, when he's 30 years old and his body is falling apart that dramatically, that's actually great news. Because what it means is something really dramatic is impacting his body. When he's falling apart at the age of 30, if you fall apart when you're 60 and 70, that's degeneration, that's chronic, that's long term. It's a little trickier to get to the cause of that. But when you break down at the age of 30, right, when you have keratoconus or any kind of breakdown condition at a young age, something dramatic is happening. Something profound is happening. Something obvious is happening is what I'm saying here. So we got to figure out what that is. Nobody just has a degenerative health crisis. There are multiple degenerative health crises, and we got to collect symptoms. You've heard me say this. You got to collect the dots before you can connect the dots. So we need a bunch of dots. We need a bunch of sample points. Remember the artist Bob Ross? I used to watch him on TV. I know I've talked about this before, but for the new listeners, you remember Bob Ross, right? He would draw an entire landscape with a couple of lines on a canvas. So you have this blank canvas, and you got one line on the canvas. What the heck is that? That's just a line. But then you get 2 lines on the canvas, and all of a sudden a picture starts to emerge. Then you get 3 lines, and oh my God, now you have a mountain. And a 4th line, you got trees. And a 5th line, you got a river. And 6th line, you got birds. And 7 or 8 lines, all of a sudden you have a whole picture. And this is what we have to do when it comes to doing the detective work, which a doctor's supposed to be doing, but which they don't. This is what we have to do when it comes to the detective work of trying to figure out what's going on in the body. We need multiple points. So I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to you. So I can't really ask him questions, but this is what you should ask him. Number 1, what other things are going wrong? Nobody just has a connective tissue problem. There's other things going on. There's probably digestive issues. That's, as I've said, that's always the first place to look. Doesn't mean there's fixing the digestive system or changing the way we eat is going to magically cure your illness, but it's the first place to look. It's like when there's a murder mystery. The first place, when a woman or the wife gets killed, who do they go to? They go to the husband. Why? He's the most likely suspect. Not that he guaranteed did it, but it's the first place to look. Likewise, when you have a chronic degenerative condition, keratoconus, the degeneration of the breakdown of the collagen in the eye, you've got to go to the digestive system first. If he has to do a fast, he should do a fast. This is serious business, by the way. This is a dramatic breakdown for a 30-year-old kid. So work on the digestive system. Eliminate problem foods. Get on the Jordan Rubin products and the Biolumin Nightly Essence, the Omicine, the Swear V, eating less food, using ultimate enzymes after meals. All of these can help him process his food, grinding his food up, using smoothies and soups. This is another very important strategy for all chronic degenerative diseases. Even when we eat good food, our immune system, our inflammatory system wakes up. So making sure that he's eating less food, making sure that he's grinding his food up, making smoothies and soups, and then making sure that he's eliminating problem foods as well, doing a food diary, etc. Second thing is the blood sugar system. Elevated blood sugar and elevated insulin and degeneration go hand in hand. So making sure he's stabilizing his blood sugar, using the Sweeties product after meals. The Fuchs Z can help with blood sugar. There's a zillion supplements for blood sugar. Osteomag, the Healthy Start Pack, electrolytes, all very important for the blood sugar system. Got a couple more things to say, Rose. Hang on. And if you're on hold, we'll get to you as well. 844-236-6010 is our number. Okay, we are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben talking to Rose about keratoconus, which is a kind of degenerative condition in the eye. Rose dropped off. Kind of the eyeball sort of cones out, sort of pops out a little bit. And it's a degenerative condition. It's not all that uncommon, actually, and it can be a leading cause of blindness. The main thing you want to do is consider it to be just a generic degenerative health issue that affects the eye as opposed to the joints or the spine or any other part of the body that degenerates. So in this way, it's the same as any other degenerative health issue. The same. That means you do the same things. You focus on digestive health. If you're not absorbing your nutrients, you're not going to absorb protein, you're not going to absorb vitamin C. All of these are important for collagen, and keratoconus is partially a collagen deficiency defect. So building collagen is very important. That means digestive health. That means eliminating problem foods. That means using bone soup and protein for that matter. And you can't make collagen without vitamin C, and that's your Healthy Start Pack. Making sure you're stabilizing blood sugar, keeping inflammatory sugar out of the blood. Very important strategy. Using the Sweeties, using magnesium, the OsteoFX, using the Fuchs Z and the Z radical. Taurine is great for blood sugar. Arginine is important for stabilizing blood sugar. Alpha lipoic acid, we talked about that earlier this week. Very important for blood sugar. You need a lot of alpha lipoic acid, in my opinion, 400 or 500 milligrams a day to get some good effects. You'll probably get effects at less, but to get real good effects, you need a good dose, 400 or 500 milligrams a day. Vitamin E, also 400 international units a day. And then last but not least, making sure you're practicing deep breathing techniques, relaxing the body, using all the strategies we talk about for activating the parasympathetic nervous system. All of these are for dealing, everything I just told you. If you're listening and you don't have keratoconus, if you have any degenerative disease, these are all strategies you can use for reversing all degenerative health crises. All right, 844-236-6010. Got lines open for you. Jim in Texas, what's going on? Welcome to the bright side.
Hey, how are you? I have a quick question. It's more of a consumer question.
Can you speak up? Just speak up a little bit, Jim. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay. Hey, I just have a consumer question about probiotics.
Sure.
Something that really confused me. Maybe you can help me out. Is when you go to the store, whether it's the health food store or even the pharmacy, there are the refrigerated probiotics and the non-refrigerated. Which ones are better? Does it matter?
Great question. Yeah, that's a great question. Well, considering probiotics are actually living substances, they're bacteria. It's not a supplement. It's not a pill. These are living entities, living bacteria. Common sense would tell you that they should be refrigerated. However, as it turns out, there are manufacturers who claim, I say claim, I don't know for sure, and I've talked to many of them. In fact, I'm going to a show next week called Supply Side West, where there's all these supplement companies selling raw materials to folks like myself and people who work for Longevity who are formulators, and they're selling raw materials, and there's tons of probiotic folks there. If you're interested in checking out a really cool show, if you like nutritional supplementation and you like nutritional supplements, it's called Supply Side West, and they do it in Las Vegas every year, and they do it in New Jersey every spring, and they do it in Las Vegas every fall. I'll be going to it next week. It's a super cool show. It's at Mandalay Bay, I think, this year, and it's kind of technical, but you get to see all the raw material suppliers, the people who make the vitamin C, the people who make the minerals, who actually make and sell the minerals to nutritional companies. Anyway, when I go every year, I always make sure I talk to the probiotic folks to see what the latest and greatest is in the world of probiotics. And I've had these discussions with them. And they tell me that there are manufacturers who have figured out how to keep the bacteria alive, how to keep the bacteria viable in a encapsulated way, so that you don't have to refrigerate the product. So just because a product is not refrigerated doesn't necessarily mean that it's ineffective. All right? Although common sense tells us that refrigeration is going to be a little bit better. I want to tell you, there's one more thing about probiotics I'll tell you about, but go ahead. You going to ask me something, Jim?
Just one other question. Yeah. And also, from a consumer standpoint, what also confuses me is there's a tremendous difference in, let's just say, the refrigerated brands. I mean, they can be $30 a bottle, then you can have the same equivalent in another brand that's $40 a bottle.
Yeah.
And you look over on the shelf where they have the non-refrigerated ones, and they're obviously more cost-effective. So I think for the consumer, and plus, as a consumer, you never know if they're alive or not, right? I mean,
you're absolutely correct.
Until you get home.
Absolutely. You don't know if they're alive. You don't know what's in there. There's no way to test them. You know, this is the trick with probiotics, and that's why I'm always saying that in addition to probiotics, you want to make sure you're doing fermented foods. If you do fermented foods, especially if you make your own fermented foods, which are super easy to do, all you got to do is get some bacterial starter pack from a health food store and make your own sauerkraut. Chop up some cabbage and put some bacterial starter on there and cover it up, and you make your own sauerkraut. You can make your own kimchi. You can make your own yogurt. You can make your own. Get a book called The Art of Fermentation. That's really the ultimate way to make sure that you're getting the bacteria that you need, is by making your own foods. However, when it comes to a supplement, there are some benefits. There's a lot of benefits that you can get from a supplement. But here's the trick, Jim. You've got to experiment. Different brands will have different effects. Different brands will have a different spectrum of bacteria. You know, some brands will have 12 different types of bacteria. Some will have 15 types of bacteria. They'll have different kinds of bacteria. There's hundreds, maybe thousands of different strains of bacteria. The human gut has at least 500 different strains of bacteria. So you're not going to know which particular formulation is best for you until you experiment. Not only that, you're not going to know what the dosage is until you experiment. And this is the trick with probiotics. So what you want to do is dose yourself functionally and buy a product that works functionally. So what you do is you buy a product. I like starting everybody off on the Biolumin Nightly Essence. It's my favorite probiotic supplement. It's got a wide spectrum of bacteria, and it's got a good healthy dose per capsule. And you want a good healthy dose per capsule for cost-effective reasons. Now, I know the manufacturers of the Biolumin Nightly Essence. We've had them on the program. So there's a trust factor there. I trust the guy. He's an enzyme and bacterial expert, probiotic expert, Troy Opperley. and we've had him on the program, and he's a friend of mine, and I know him. So I recommend the Biolumin Nightly Essence first and foremost. So what you do is you use the Biolumin Nightly Essence to see what happens. You can tell by your digestive symptomology if you're getting benefits, especially constipation and loose stools, also gas and bloating. If you notice benefits, take a little more. If you say you take three capsules of the Biolumin Nightly Essence and you notice some benefits, take a little more, see what happens. You take 4, you go, wow, I got even more benefits. Then take a little more, take 5 a day, and see what happens. You say, well, I don't notice that much of a difference. Then maybe take 6 a day, see what happens. Oh, no, I don't notice any difference. You'll know that your good dose is 4 or 5 a day. That's called functional dosing. And when it comes to non-nutritional elements like enzymes and probiotics, that's how you want to dose. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jim.
No, just in one more question that leads me to, I've done that, and what I do is I start out at which one has the most probiotics in it. So now they have ones that are up to 100 billion. Yeah. So some say 90, 50, 40, 160. So there's a lot to try there.
It's playing. You know what? In pharmacy school, we say let your body be the laboratory. That means how is your body responding? Let your body be the laboratory. I'm giving you guidelines on this program, but ultimately we're all individuals. It's called biochemical specificity or biochemical individuality. This is the problem with metrics and the problem with tests and the problem with standard doses for people. 1 scoop or 2 scoops per pound, or everybody's different. You got to dose functionally. It's a little bit easier with nutritional supplements because we know the window. We know where you need to be. Generally speaking, there's a range, a dosage range with nutritional supplements. Not so with enzymes, not so with probiotics, not so with all non-nutritional supplements. There's not really a range, so you got to dose yourself functionally. I wish it was easier. We all want this easy answer, but sometimes there's some experimentation that's involved, and why shouldn't there be? In life, everything's an experiment. It's called the scientific method. You make a hypothesis. That is, you give yourself some kind of idea, and then you test your hypothesis, and then you return and then you refine the hypothesis. So you start off with a dose, 4 a day on the probiotics, or if you want to do billions of units, say 100 billion units a day, and you see what happens. If you get benefits, then you're good. Maybe up it a little bit and see what happens. And when you reach a point of diminishing returns, you'll know you got a good, you can be at that place. Now, with brands, it's the same way. Just because you don't notice benefits with a probiotic brand doesn't implicate probiotics as being a waste. It may just mean that brand is not effective for you. That spectrum that's contained in that brand is not effective for you, so find a different one. Keep playing with it.
Yeah, that makes sense because I've tried 2 different well-known brands, and one I really didn't notice anything, and then I've gone back to another one I have used, and I've noticed.
Then you see that this is how it works. Let your body be a laboratory. I'm giving you guidelines here on this program, but we're all individuals, and we want to learn to trust our inherent wisdom. Trust the inherent wisdom of the body. The body will always tell you when you're on the right track. The body will always tell you when you're on the wrong track, too. We just don't listen. That's what this program's all about, you guys. Thanks for your call, Jim. I appreciate it. It's about empowering us. It's about disempowering the predatory exploitative model that we've set up for health, the so-called mainstream medical model, taking the power back and putting it where it belongs, back in our laps. And it's so simple, folks. Get on the Healthy Start Pack. Get on a good nutritional supplement program. Use your Biolumin Nightly Essence and your Fucoid Z and the Jordan Rubin products. Watch what happens. There's not a single drug on planet Earth that can tell you you're going to feel better and you're going to improve your health condition. You may dumb down your symptoms, but you're not going to improve your health condition. But that is the world, that is the realm of what we call nutrition and nutritional supplements. All right, thanks for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. If you're interested in checking out my Truth Treatment products, including our Retinol 5% gel, head over to truthtreatments.com. And if you're interested in checking out the longevity products, head over to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com.
Being over 40 make you feel like half the man you used to be? You feel more tired, out of shape, not in the mood like you used to be? Thanks to an exclusive formula, you can help boost testosterone levels safely and naturally. Introducing Ageless Male, a life-changing supplement for men.
Tested to help increase testosterone levels.
You'll notice a boost in your energy levels. Workouts work, sex life improves. It's like a light switch goes on.
Try Ageless Male risk-free if you would like to experience what taking Ageless Male can feel like. Support for healthy, normal testosterone levels, healthy energy, and increased performance. And more romance when you want it.
Call 1-800-327-4821. That's 1-800-327-4821. 800-327-4821. 800-327-4821. That's 1-800-327-4821.
Many Americans suffer from poor digestion, which can adversely affect their health.
For you guys who have digestive issues, glutathione is amazingly important for inflammatory bowel disease, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, stomach cancer. The glands of the stomach produce lots of glutathione. So glutathione's got multiple roles to play, and one of the best ways to upregulate, to make more glutathione, is to take the building blocks, glycine being one of the most important of the building blocks for making glutathione. Your ultimate enzymes contain something called trimethylglycine. We know it as betaine. We talk about betaine as an important ingredient for acidification, for keeping the pH of the stomach nice and low. But betaine can also help you make glutathione.
Help your body build glutathione. Order Ultimate Enzymes by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470, or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
Okay, open your mouth and say ah.
Ah. When your child has a sore throat, you need to know when to get help. The doctor-recommended Say Ah sore throat exam is your solution. The scientifically designed oral retractor offers a clear view of the throat, relaxing the tongue and minimizing gag reflex. Compare with the medical grade chart, website, and app. Then you'll know just what to tell your doctor. A wellness plan in your hands in minutes. Go to SayAHHnow.com. SayAhNow.com, the new mainstay for every family's first aid kit.
Hi, this is Walt Augustinowitz. I'm the founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. By now you've heard our commercials about wallets that protect you from electronic pickpocketing. 10 years ago, I created a way to protect my own cards from prying eyes after government officials started talking about issuing a national ID card with a built-in radio chip called RFID. I felt having to broadcast my personal information was an invasion of privacy. Soon after, it was also announced that credit cards, debit cards, U.S. passports, hotel room keys, and even transit passes would all soon incorporate RFID. It was then I formed ID Stronghold to share my inventions in blocking RFID signals with the world. There are a lot of misconceptions out there today about RFID. I encourage everyone to get informed and get protected. Please go to idstronghold.com and get the facts and the wallets, sleeves, or badge holders you need to protect your personal financial data. You'll be pleasantly surprised that through our direct sales model, you won't pay more than other comparable unprotected wallets. It is as though the protection is free. Visit idstronghold.com today.
My name's Clyde, age 59, and I reside in Florence, South Carolina. The doctors diagnosed me as having clogged arteries. Felt like I was carrying heavy concrete blocks around my feet and legs. I started taking Heart and Body Extract as directed. It is less than 3 weeks, and I'm like a young man again. It's unbelievable that an herbal formula can work so fast and so powerfully.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs ensures he gets the best use of his mineral supplements by using Youngevity's Ultimate Enzymes.
If you start a nutritional supplement program and you find that you get loose stools more than you get any benefits from the supplements, there's a good chance that you're not absorbing the minerals. Now, here's the thing about minerals and mineral absorption. You need to have a functioning fat system. You need to have functioning bile. You need to have a well-functioning liver and a well-functioning gallbladder in order to get the benefits from nutritional supplements with minerals. It's very common that as we get older, we don't absorb fats, we don't utilize fats, and then you won't be utilizing or absorbing minerals either. I would be getting on the Ultimate Enzymes from Youngevity. I'd be making sure I was taking them with all my meals.
To get optimal use of your nutritional supplements, order Ultimate Enzymes from Youngevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470, or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.